I'm here with Kale, who is the co-founder and CEO of StorageReach. So today we're going to do a deep dive on the importance of reviews for self-storage and some tactics that you can use to improve your review generation. So Kale, excited to have
Yeah.
you on. Maybe just give a quick intro on what you're doing with StorageReach.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Yeah. So again, name's Kale Levitt. I started Storage Reach about 2 years ago. A little bit of background on me. I started in the storage industry about 10 years ago, working with Easy Storage Solutions, helping their marketing department. In that, we really noticed we were able to work with a large number of clients doing SEO and online marketing. And we were able to realize, how important reviews are and how much they help in the storage industry. So fast forward 7 years, after Storable acquired Easy Storage, I ended up leaving to start Storage Reach. Our main focus and our main goal is to help facilities to generate reviews on Google, and really help them stand out online, be more trustworthy and credible. We saw so much success with people who focused on reviews in the marketing industry or in the marketing side of things. We really wanted to focus on reviews and really seeing a huge impact in facilities. So that's where we're at today. StorageReach does that. It's software that helps all things reviews.
Yeah, so let's keep going down that route and start there. So
Yeah.
maybe at a high level, what's kind of the importance of reviews and like the impact it has on organic rankings from your
Yeah.
perspective with the data you've seen?
Yeah, absolutely. So reviews have an impact on, multiple parts of your business, especially in storage. Reviews help with SEO, online marketing, like you mentioned. They help with your trust and credibility. They help with your conversion rates. They help with your Google ad conversion rates. They help with a number of things. So the first thing I want to bring up, 92% of people look at reviews before renting from a facility. It's a high number. On average, people look at about 6 reviews before renting. ISS put out a study a few years ago, and they had some really interesting things that they pulled out about reviews. And I'll share a few of them here. Storage facilities with 50 reviews and a 4.5 star rating tend to fill units 30% faster. That's a big number, 30%, especially when you're someone who's leasing up your facility, you're trying to rent units. Reviews can definitely help, and they help you to drive more traffic to your site. Facilities with 100 reviews typically see a 20% increase in rental conversions compared to those with fewer than 50. So again, big number. Just by increasing your reviews, people feel like you're more trustworthy, you're more credible because they have a big power with that. Um, 87% of people actually trust reviews more than personal recommendations from family and friends. So people are looking at that. They're looking at your reviews. They're seeing that's kind of a lot of times your first impression. And if it's a good, trustworthy review, they're more likely to, take their business to you. And then, the SEO and online marketing portion, that's a big portion. Reviews help your organic ranking so much. There's actually some interesting things that you can talk about on the search engine results page with that SEO, because when you're on looking at storage, when someone's searching for you, they're going to see 3 sections. They're going to see the pay-per-click ads. They're going to see your Google Map pack in the middle. That's where the A, B, and C locations are, where your reviews are shown. And they're also going to see your organic rankings. So a majority of those clicks on a local search, about almost 50% of those clicks are going to that map pack. And one of the biggest ranking factors in that map pack is reviews. It's estimated about 15% of that ranking algorithm on a local search is factored in with those reviews. So just by focusing on reviews gives you a headway and a bigger jump in that map pack where a majority of the clicks are coming from.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point on how reviews go beyond just SEO. It's a big factor of SEO, but sometimes we see our ads maybe aren't working. We're not getting enough conversion to rentals. But looking actually at how your reviews stack up to competitors, do you have good enough reviews? Do you have enough? It's something, if you're not focused on, other parts of your marketing may not be working, and that could be the reason why. And maybe it would
Yeah,
work if you had that in place.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Exactly. With that, when people are looking at reviews, so Google likes to see 3 things with reviews in order to rank better. They want to see quality, quantity, and consistency. So Google wants to see you getting a good amount of reviews, and they want to see them consistent as well. They don't want to see you get 10 or 15 reviews at one time and then nothing over the course of the year. And that's the same with the consumer. When the consumer is looking at your page, on the Google business page, when they're looking at reviews, about 47% of people actually click on that newest filter. They want to see your most consistent reviews. They want to see your newest because they want to feel like you're going to be trustworthy with their things. And so about 67% of people actually don't like reviews or don't hold as much weight on reviews if they weren't within the last 3 months. And same with Google, they don't hold as much weight on your ranking if they weren't in the last 3 months. So yeah, it helps you to be more credible. It helps you to rank higher, and like you said.
Yeah, and I think there's another key point. A lot of people focus on the quantity and the quality with the star rating, but I feel like not
Hmm.
as many people really think about consistency and are you getting consistent reviews each month over time? Where when you're and it makes sense why Google would look at that. If you're a real business operating, you're going to have consistent customers each month, so you should naturally be getting reviews over time. And sometimes we just
Yeah.
look at, okay, I have as many as my competitors, I'm good, I don't have to do any more reviews, but that's I think a big mistake that I see a lot of people end up being stuck in.
Yeah, yeah. They think, where we're at is good enough, but what they don't realize as soon as that, according to the stats that we've seen, as soon as that 3 month mark hits where the review is more than 3 months old, it holds so much more or less weight because, things change. Things change quickly in businesses. Your manager might leave for a facility, something issues might come up. And people realize that they want to see it new and consistent because coming from a personal stories, I trust reviews just as much as recommendations, family and friends, just like 87% of people out there. For example, we welcomed a new baby into our home a few months back, and I was sitting there looking at bottles on Amazon, and my sister was sitting next to me and she said, "Oh, we really like these ones." And so I looked at them and they had like 8,000 reviews, but only about 3.9 star rating. So I was like, well, my sister's crazy. And I went and I actually looked up bottles that were similar to that, had better reviews, and I was willing to spend, $5 more on those bottles because I was assured they're going to have a good customer experience. So that was one impact in my life that I saw, how reviews impacted my decision making, and that's the same with storage that we see day in and day out.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point on like even like revenue management and pricing. If you have way better reviews than your competitors, you actually can potentially
Yeah,
charge a premium price versus if you try to increase rates and you don't have the quality reviews, that's where you can start getting into trouble where you might not really be able to figure out why, but it could
yeah.
be simply just your reviews aren't good enough or you don't have recent enough ones.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people want to be assured they're going to have a good experience and they're willing. There's actually stats out there that say that, I've thrown out a lot of stats already, but another one for you is people are willing to pay 10% more if they're sure they're going to have a good customer experience. That's how I was with the bottle thing. That's how I've seen in for other businesses as well. And I tell people this a lot. I don't say, start getting reviews and you can go and charge 10% more and everything will be just fine. Now, I'm not saying that, but what I like to tell people is how impactful those reviews have on your business, that's the weight that they hold. 10 by 10 unit can be charged $10 more just if they're going to have a good customer experience and they're willing to go to you for that based on the reviews.
Yeah, and on the point of more reviews in terms of other factors that are important, what's your thoughts on replying to reviews, both positive and negative? Is that important? Should
Yeah.
people be doing that? And kind of what's the best way to go about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So replying is, just as important. We want to make sure we reply to every review. And there's multiple reasons for that. Google likes people to reply to their reviews. It shows them that you're actively working on your business. So replies are weighted in that ranking algorithm. They want to see you reply quickly and thoughtfully. So we generally tell people we want to reply to every review within 48 hours. That's that sweet spot. That's where the reviews are going to, or the replies are going to hold the most weight. But, if they don't get within that 48 hours, still reply to the review. It's still important. We still want to see that. And not only are we doing those replies for Google, we're doing them for, people potentially looking at our business, especially on negative reviews, and is eventually going to have someone that's going to want to leave a negative review. Every now and then you just have people that don't want to have a good experience and they want to take it out on you online. Even though we don't like that, it's bound to happen. But the consumer kind of expects that. They expect, not every business is perfect, but what we want to do, we want to be able to turn that positive or that negative into somewhat of a positive. And no, another stat that we've seen is about almost 50% of people, they look at your newest reviews and they also look at your most recent negative reviews because they want to see how the business interacted with that review. they're not looking at it just to see why it was negative. They want to see how you responded. So we want to make sure we respond to everything, especially negative. We want to make it a professional response. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to take the emotion out of it, especially when you know the situation and you know why the issue has happened. But that's what we need to do. We need to take the emotion out of it, give them a way to reach out to us, and to make sure that they know that not only they know, but also the person that's looking at your business knows that you're trying to create a good customer experience. You're trying to provide a good, honest business. That way they are, again, more likely to click on your website, and hopefully you're able to fix that issue as well. And then after that, we just want to keep getting good reviews, bury that negative review that we got, respond to the good reviews as well, because it is important.
Yeah, sometimes the response to the negative review is almost even more important than the negative review itself. It's like if you can
For
get that
sure.
right, there's an opportunity there to still position yourself in a good light by being professional and trying to show
Yeah.
people you're trying to make it right. You're not just going to ignore or get angry and argue with somebody. So I think that's a missed
Yeah.
opportunity if you're not doing that and really
hmm
being thoughtful about how you respond to those.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And one thing we like to talk to people about, and I talk to people a lot, is everyone wants to have that perfect 5-star rating. But to a lot of people, that perfect 5-star rating is a little bit more fishy than, a 4.8, a 4.7, because again, people expect every now and then you're going to have someone with a bad experience. So hitting that 5-star rating, people start to think, well, you have 100 reviews and they're all 5 stars. That's probably not all real. So they expect to see some negatives. We definitely don't want that to be a consistent thing, but one every few months is probably okay if we respond to it the right way and are still getting positive reviews during that time.
Yeah, I think that's a good point too. Because even if you look at like products on Amazon or really anywhere, and you see all 5-star reviews at a high quantity, that does
Yeah.
raise some like, are these legitimate reviews? Are they all friends and family?
hmm
So yeah, it's not the worst thing. Um,
Yeah.
do you see like a 4.7, 4.9 range? Does that feel like a good
Yeah.
spot?
Yeah. Our goal is to get it over 4.7. That's once we get it over there, we feel good. It's more after that about the quality and quantity. We want to see authentic reviews coming in as well. But that 4.7 rating or higher, that's where we like to shoot for.
Yeah, and one more point on importance of reviews, and then we'll get into specific tactics people can use to generate more reviews. But last thing here, what's your thoughts on? I've heard mixed opinions on if a user leaves like keywords in the review, does that have an
Yeah.
impact? One, it's also kind of interesting, like how you even ask or how you even dictate that. But do you think that's a
hmm
factor, or is that something people don't need to worry about as much?
Yeah, we've seen it be a factor in, again, the ranking algorithm is just keywords and reviews, especially in local searches. Google's using those reviews as points for their algorithm and points for people to hit. So we do want to see keywords in those. It is hard to, say, give me a review, mention this and this and this. And we can't really do that. Really, it's just getting an authentic review and hoping that those keywords pop up. We try to get people, make sure you write a comment if they can. But again, just a 5-star rating is better than nothing. So we want to try to request that. We want to try to get that. But as long as it's authentic, that will come over time, as long as we're getting it consistently as well.
Yeah, that's what I've seen as well. Like naturally, that's probably just going to happen. Maybe
hmm
you can ask. It's always weird to ask, but like mention the city or like mention the specific product you
Yeah.
rented, the specific unit or something. You could sort of like try and guide some people. You probably don't want to overdo that and do that to everybody,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's what I've seen as well. Now, in terms of
Right.
tactics, so how can people
Yeah.
go and start generating more reviews? Is there certain things they be doing on a monthly basis, weekly basis? What's kind of your process there?
Yeah, we'd like to tell people the best time you're going to get a review is on move in. That's when people are the happiest. They maybe just emptied out the garage, maybe they emptied out their attic, something along those lines. They're happy that they fixed a problem that they had. So the best time is to get one on move in. What we found is that requesting it the day after they move in has been our most successful as well. It's not lost in the mix of, gate codes, lease agreements, everything like that. When someone's moving in a facility, there's a lot that they have to worry about. So what we've done and what we've found is just sending a review request specifically after the day move in, the day after. And we want to make sure that that's on its own as well. We want to make sure that it's not mixed in with anything else as like a welcome email. review specific. And then just asking them, that goes a long way. A lot of people don't ask. We want to make sure we're asking. If we have a system in place, that's great. But asking a day after and sending it and making it simple too. If we are asking them right there face to face, having like a QR code for them to scan, or if we have it in our system built out, something like StorageReach, where it's asking specifically for that review, it's simple, because the simpler it is, the more likely people are to convert on it. So as far as asking goes, making sure it's simple, making sure it's at the right time. We do also ask people, like our current tenants as well, because maybe over time they're more willing to give a review if they've had a good experience. Some people, after the move in, they don't necessarily want to leave one right away because they don't feel like they've had enough time to really gauge the experience. So we want to make sure every now and then we're requesting it from tenants that we know haven't asked or haven't left a review. But timing is really important. How we do it and making it simple is the most important things as well.
Yeah, I think those are great tips, really, because the timing of it, like noting down at move-in, make that a part of your process. Make sure you're asking then, and then like doing that kind of thing consistently over time should generate the reviews you need. Now,
Yeah.
I want to make sure we have time to talk more specifically about StorageReach, and because this is what
Yeah.
you guys do. Now, I
Yeah.
have first-hand experience because I know we're working together on some clients, and I know one of mine, I just looked at the data too. I think our reviews are up. I don't know the exact number. It's around 40% from just a few months ago
Awesome.
when we
Yeah.
started working with you directly on this. So, and
Yeah.
that's all really, he didn't have the operator working on this, a process in place for generating reviews. I don't think he really generated a review in like the last 2 years almost. So
Yeah.
now reviews are up 40%. We're starting to see organic rankings come up. Tell us a little bit like how you do that, how the service
Yeah.
works and the system works.
Yeah, for sure. So we're trying to make it as simple as possible. Our system with StorageReach, we want to make it to where the manager, the owner, they don't have to worry about the reviews. Their main focus is providing a good customer experience, and then our system is working in the background. So what we do and how we work with the facilities, we integrate directly with your management software, whether it's Storage, Cubby, SiteLink, Easy Storage Solutions. We want to integrate with that so the entire thing is automated, so it's running again in the background. So what we do is we send out text messages the day after someone moves in requesting that review. We also are tracking all of this as well. So if they don't interact with that message, we send a follow-up message 3 days later, just again pushing them to and prodding them to leave a review. And we actually see a higher conversion rate on that follow-up than we do on the initial message. But in that text, we're asking for their feedback. We're asking for their honest feedback and making it simple. It's 2 clicks, they're leaving a review kind of thing. And it's very easy and it's automated. We're also hitting our current tenants as well, because like I said, you might have someone that hasn't left a review in the past, but they're willing to leave a review because they felt like they've had a great experience. So our system randomly chooses a few per week so that we are not only getting reviews, we're getting them consistently. We could send it all out to every single tenant at once, get a bunch of reviews, and then just do move in and move outs. But we want to make it consistent so that we found that to be more powerful. So we're sending it out to about 5 to 10 per week, depending on the facility size, current tenants. Once they're chosen, then not chosen again for another 6 months, and then move outs as well. We're hitting them as well and making sure, they're not in like late payment status, auction status, or anything like that. But we still want to have the opportunity to convert on a review. Our most successful review requests are definitely our move-ins, then our current tenants, and then the move-outs are the least. But we are, getting reviews from every single aspect of those, so we're making sure we're hitting all of those as well. So yeah, it's super automated, super easy, and it just helps to continually generate reviews. On average, we see anywhere from about 6 to 10 reviews per month, depending on facility size. Some a little more, some a little less, just depending on how big the facility is. But that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm just looking at the data too. On this one, we got 3 reviews in the last 7 days. I'm seeing in the dashboard. So it's
Yeah,
already,
perfect.
yeah, getting those consistent reviews and really not having to worry
Yeah,
about it is pretty big. And I think a lot of people, it's good to try and do this yourself and try and learn, but at
yeah,
certain points, sometimes it just makes sense to get a system
yeah.
in place, focus on the other aspects of your business, know the reviews are handled, and then, yeah, kind of focus
Yeah.
on everything else that you need to do on top of the review generation.
Yeah, it definitely helps because of how important they are. What we've seen a lot is that, people start to do it by themselves. They start to run it by themselves and they do great. They're successful, but that starts to dwindle over time, when they forget or they start to worry about other things. So, making it automated is very important. And one other thing, we had I actually had a sales call with somebody the other day, that they were talking about reviews, what they could do, and they said they were getting they were ranking a certain amount of places, they were getting a certain amount of traffic, and then a competitor of theirs started to get reviews, and they went from 4 reviews to 87 reviews in a year, and they said their traffic had just dwindled completely. And turned out that competitor, once they showed us who it was one of our clients. So we were like, yeah, they're doing it with us. I mean, you have a use case right there, how it was successful and how it affected their business, and kind of hurt their own business by not doing it. So now they're focusing on it and hopefully seeing that come up as well.
Yeah, that's something I'm trying to speak about a lot more as well. A lot of operators feel like, okay, once their marketing in general is at a certain point, like, okay, we can take our foot off the gas, we're good,
Yeah.
let's not do anything. The problem with that is exactly what you said. One, you're as you get more sophisticated competitors, and that's happening in most markets now, people are leveling up their
Hmm.
sophistication with marketing. If you don't do anything, eventually you're going to drop. And then the other
Yeah.
benefit is you're sort of building like this moat around your business where if a new facility gets developed or acquired, they have so far to go to catch up with you if you've been
Yeah.
doing that consistent for years. Same thing with just your SEO as well, with link building and just general SEO tactics.
Absolutely.
If you keep going, it's just you're getting further and further away where people just can't compete with you.
Yeah.
So that's something I think a lot of people have to start thinking about a little more. Don't just do reviews when you think you need it, when there's a problem. Do that
Yeah.
consistently long enough, and then you'll get way better
Yeah.
results.
Yeah, that brings up a lot of conversations I had when I was doing SEO and marketing as well. Is people would say, we're 95% occupied. We don't need to worry about anything. And I'd always tell them this is the best time to worry about it because you have that cushion right now where you're not depending on it. But in case someone moves into your area or something happens to where you need that marketing, instead of sitting and waiting because you were in a good spot, you built it up and now you're still in a good spot at that time. So yeah,
Yeah, that's
love that.
that's really the best way to think about marketing too. If you wait until you need it, occupancy's dropping, maybe you have to lower rates, there's more competitors opening up. It's almost too late. Like it's better to start
Yeah,
now than not, but you're now a step behind and you're reacting to everything. So I think yeah, having a longer term view and really focusing on this stuff is going to help a
yeah,
lot of people. And that's where you guys come in, where it's easy to do this for the short term. It's hard to really stick with it and dedicate the time long enough, which is really where you get the results because there's a million things we need to be doing. So,
yeah.
so yeah, I think that's huge. So, Kel, where can people find you if they want to learn more about StorageReach? Where's the best place to do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, so I mean, visit our website, storagereach.com is a great place. I'm pretty active on LinkedIn as well, so follow me on LinkedIn, connect with me on LinkedIn. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on there too. But storagereach.com is definitely the best place to look and to kind of get more information about it.
Great. Yeah, and I'll link to everything in the description here. But awesome. I think this was a great episode. Thanks for coming on,
Yeah,
and we'll talk soon.
yeah, yeah. Thanks for having me.